Part 14. Daniel's dream. The four beasts. 4 kings, 4 gods, 70 to 88 CE. Daniel 7:3. And 4 great beasts came up from the sea, each different from the other. 4 beasts: Vespasian, Titus, Simon, and Domitian. Daniel 7:4. The first was like a lion and had the wings of an eagle. I watched until its wings were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth and made to stand on 2 feet like a man, and a man's heart was given to it. Simon's hands and legs were cut off. He came out of the cave. Life was given to Simon's statue. First beast, Vespasian's statue became human. Daniel 7:5. And there was another beast, a second one, resembling a bear. It was raised up on one side, and three ribs were in its mouth between its teeth. And they said thus to it, Arise, devour much flesh. Second beast, this referred to Titus. Titus ate Jews' ribs. He instructed the eating of Jews' flesh. Daniel 7:6. After this I watched, and there was another beast, like a leopard, and it had 4 wings of a bird on its back, and the beast had 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. Third beast referred to Simon with 4 bird wings and 4 heads. Simon's 2 hands and 2 legs were the 4 wings. 4 heads were 4 gods. Dominion was given to Domitian. Daniel 7:7. After this I watched in the night visions, and there was a 4th beast, dreadful and frightful and exceedingly strong, and it had large iron teeth. It devoured and crushed and trampled down the remainder with its feet, and it was different from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. 4th beast referred to Domitian. He was different from the other 3. 10 horns referred to Vespasian. Daniel 7:8. I was considering the horns. Then there was another horn, a small one, which came up among them, and 3 of the first horns were uprooted from before it. And there were eyes like the eyes of a man, and in this horn, and a mouth speaking with great things. 4 horns were Vespasian, Titus, Simon, and Domitian. 3 horns died, Vespasian, Titus, and Simon. Domitian sprouted among the 3. Daniel 7:11. I watched then because of the sound of the great things that the horn was speaking. I watched until the beast was slain, and its body was destroyed and given to the burning fire. Simon was killed, burnt, and eaten. Daniel 7:12. And as for the rest of the beasts, their dominion was taken away, but an extension of life was given to them for a season and a time. Rest of the beasts were Jews. Their lands and wealth were taken away. 7th of the 9th 70 CE to 15th of the 7th 71 CE, Jews were on perdition. Daniel 7:17. These great beasts, which are 4 kings who will arise from the earth. 4 kings were Vespasian, Titus, Simon, and Domitian. Daniel 7:19. Then I wished to know the exact meaning of the 4th beast, which was different from all the others, exceedingly dreadful, with its teeth of iron and its claws of bronze, which devoured, crushed, and trampled under the remainder with its feet. 4th beast was Domitian. Daniel 7:20. And of the 10 horns that were on its head, and the other horn that came up, and before which 3 horns fell, even that horn that had eyes and a mouth speaking with great things, and whose appearance was greater than that of its companions. 10 horns, Vespasian. The 3 died, Vespasian, Simon, and Titus. The other horn was Domitian. Daniel 7:21. I watched, and that horn waged war with the saints and prevailed against them. Domitian waged war against Jews. Daniel 7:22. Until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High, and the time came when the saints possessed the kingdom. First judgment. Vespasian passed judgment on Jews. In the last days, Titus passed judgment on Jews. They were given authority in Rome. Daniel 7:23. And he said, the fourth beast will be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which will be different from all other kingdoms, and it will devour the whole earth and tread on it down and crush it. Fourth kingdom was Domitian. Daniel 7:24. And as for the 10 horns, out of this kingdom 10 kings will arise, and another will arise after them, and he will be different from the previous ones, and he will subdue 3 kings. Vespasian was the 10th king. He created 3 kings. Daniel 7:26. But the court of judgment will sit, and they will take away his dominion, so as to annihilate and destroy it unto the end. Simon was stripped of his power, killed and eaten. Daniel's vision, ram and he-goat. Daniel 8:3. Then I lifted my eyes, and I looked, and there was a ram standing before the river, and he had 2 horns, and the 2 horns were high, but one was higher than the other, and the higher one came up last. Ram is an entity. 2 horns were 2 members, Simon and Titus. Titus was superior to Simon. Titus became the Messiah after Simon. In the twins' birth of Catholicism, Simon was the firstborn. Titus' birth was last. Daniel 8:8. And the male goat became very great, but once he became strong, the great horn was broken, and in its place 4 conspicuous ones came up toward the 4 winds of heaven. Among the 4 gods, Simon was crucified. Daniel 8:20. The ram that you saw, which had the 2 horns, are the kings of Media and Persia. The ram was an entity. The 2 horns were 2 members, Simon and Titus. They were kings of Rome and Israel. Daniel 8:21. And the hairy goat is the king of Javan, and the great horn which was between its eyes is the first king. Hairy he-goat was Simon. Firstborn king was Simon. Daniel 8:22. And the broken horn and the 4 horns that arose in its place are 4 kingdoms that will arise from his nation, but not with his power. Broken horn was Simon. He died. 4 horns were Vespasian, Titus, Domitian, and Simon. Only Vespasian was Most High God.